What's up, you guys? I just have a little brief chat that I wanted to, or something that's been on my mind, or just something that came to my mind right now. But oh, that was gross. Anyways, I just think there's a point where you just in your life you just want to be good. You just want to do good. You just want to see the good of everything. You're like, so many things become so unstable or can become uncertain that, like, if I can just find certainty in something, it's worth continuing to live for versus like sitting in uncertainty often. And so I had that revelation because, like, the past 2 weeks I had moved with my parents because my marriage wasn't like going well. And so while we were separated, I had this like wake up call. It was like a really good wake up call. And sometimes also God will put you in a position where you have to get back up. Like, you have to like break out of what you're used to, which was I was used to just being there, him being there, and living in our apartment and doing the same thing and knowing that my daughter's okay and stuff like that, which is okay. But I feel like I wasn't being fulfilled for me personally, like the things that I wanted to do, the life that I desired. And so I felt like I could not come out of this like hole of like uncertainty with my passions and the things that I wanted to do and the person that I saw myself becoming, because I was so dependent on, like I said, the norm of what was certain, of like the fact that my husband would help and provide, and my daughter was good, and so I was good. And so I couldn't break out of that to help me find what is it that I wanted to do with my life. And I feel ever since that happened, I've honestly, don't get me wrong, the uncertainty is somewhere I didn't care to be, and that's what I really want to touch on, is like the uncertainty of not knowing if our relationship was going to work, the uncertainty of like what was going to happen next, what do I have to do next so that I can provide for myself and my child, or in our child. But give me a moment, I'm in Panera. Okay, so I feel like when I was sitting in that uncertainty of not knowing where my marriage was going, like I did not like that whatsoever. I felt very like I did not know what was going to happen, in our marriage, and what was going to happen with our family, or even the life that I thought was for me. And so after after God moved me to have to sit in a place of uncertainty, it also revealed in me the person that I see myself becoming, the things that I aspire to do, the dreams that I've always had, and it opened up doors for me to be able to say, you know what, if this does not work, because I was so reliant on my relationship that it's like I had no self-awareness in what I wanted to do. So it got to the point where I had to ask myself, like, okay, now that the relationship was taken away from me for that brief 2 weeks, like I said, I had no idea what was going to happen. Like, when I was uncertain for that moment, it like for me was not where I thought. Like I said, I had no idea what was going to happen when me and my husband separated. I didn't expect anything. I didn't plan for anything. Genuinely, I just removed myself. And so when I feel like when God put me in that position to remove myself, realizing okay, I was always all about my relationship, and maybe I wasn't in a sense of like what I thought it was, like in a good healthy way of being all about my relationship. It was more probably mental than actual work. And so I honestly was losing in the end. So when God removed me from that situation and had to align me with like where I had to sit down and ask myself, okay, Jessica, what is it that you genuinely want to do with your life? What is it that you genuinely see yourself becoming, or the person you see yourself becoming? Because at the end of this, none of this matters. Whether this relationship works out or don't, I have to continue to move forward for my daughter, or our daughter. So I have to continue to move forward for our daughter. So I had to find a common ground with what is it that I was supposed to be doing here? What is my purpose here? Without my relationship, without, even just my child, like I had to really sit down and go through this. And I feel like God put me there because before that, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready mentally to receive the gifts that I have. And so now I've learned to appreciate the gifts that I have, and I've learned to take them in, and I've learned to be appreciative, and I've learned to actually use the gifts that I have. And so before, I was so fearful of doing things that I actually wanted to do because of judgment, of thinking somehow somebody might look at me, thinking of how somebody may think about me doing it, where it's like, it does not matter. Like, it don't really matter. And moving back to my parents honestly helped me realize that, like, they're gonna be the same person, or they're gonna do what they want to do regardless of what I do. Like, a huge reason of why I wasn't moving forward either was because I was always so focused on what would they think about me, what if they judge me, what if they say something about me, or or negatively about what the things that I'm doing, and it's like, when I sat in there for 2 weeks, I realized, like, yo, these people are doing the exact same thing they've been doing since I was like 13, and nothing is wrong with that. It's just, it allowed me to see that I was like overthinking everything. Like, I was stopping myself from being the best version of myself because I'm thinking about somebody who's been doing something that's been working for them. That's what works for them. No judgment there. And they've been doing the exact same thing ever since I can remember. Like, I'm sure you guys know, like, your parents' routine when you guys were children or like growing up. Okay, I'm at Smoothie King. Give me a second. Ooh. Excuse me. I had an online order. Raphael? Thank you. Righty. So we got that. Are we on time? Okay. We're doing good. We're doing really good, actually. So I feel that God put me in a position to be uncertain so that I can find what is my purpose here. Like, what am I intended to do? Because for so long, that was my question. And when he put me in a position of uncertainty, I was left really to just think of that, or even just to meditate and speak to him about that, and not my relationship, not, my next thing for myself. It could be easy to just jump into a job, where I might be getting money, but like, I genuinely am not going to be happy. And so that's the place that I don't see myself going. That's the place I don't see myself going. And so I had to rely on, what is it that God has for me? What is it that I am intended to do here? And like I said, I didn't like the place of uncertainty. And when I found certainty again, as far as like, me and my husband are gonna work this relationship together, and even the certainty of like what I was doing before and the time that I was using before, it could have felt like, for 8 years me and my husband have been together, and I felt that for those 8 years I had like nothing going. Like I said, I was just really just focused on my relationship. But when I was able to be pushed back from that and face what really is my relationship, and really even myself outside of the relationship, what that even means for myself to be outside of the relationship, I had to really like I said, rely on God and not rely on my own understanding of what I thought it meant to have not been in this relationship, or not continue this relationship, or even with this, like, I'm thinking I'm the one putting this relationship together and controlling this relationship, when in reality it was all God all along. But I was trying to do it on my own understanding. I wasn't giving God the glory as he always wants, obviously. So it's like he had to remind me that, hey, like, you're trying to do this on your own, but in reality I'm the one that is in control of everything. And so when he took that away from me, I had to get back to like a place of uncertainty on purpose, so that way I can find my purpose. And I said that to say, like, I mean, I think I'm blabbering, but I mean, now that I think about it, it was a good time, a good place of uncertainty. It wasn't something that I planned for. It wasn't something that I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. It was genuinely a place where I had to forcefully put myself, because it had to get back to, what do I desire? Who am I intended to become? What are the things that I look for in my life and the place that I see myself being without a relationship, without my child? Like, I had to get back to that, because we all have a purpose, we all have a calling, we all have a reason why we're here. But if we don't exercise those gifts that we have, if we don't sit back and if we don't ever like remove ourselves from those gifts for a moment to appreciate them again and to find a different perspective for why we have those gifts and use them for better, then how are we going to ever appreciate what we have? It sucks that, yes, you have to be taken away from it in order for you to appreciate the things that you have. But let's be honest, when we are removed from the things that we're so used to being into, and we're removed from those things, we can see it in a new perspective and be able to use them for our good. And so, while maybe I started off thinking that, I don't like being in a place of uncertainty, but it helped me so much to find the gifts that I have and do the things that I wanted to do. So now that I am here, now that I can do the things that I wanted to do and be fulfilled in the things that I see, and not just rely on my relationship, or not put my energy towards this relationship, or all of my energy towards a relationship, and really trust God, because God is the only one that can make anything happen. And without that, then I have nothing. And so I had to sit back and really look at that and say, you know what, I'm going to do what it is that I need to do for myself, because at the end of the day, just like that relationship was taken from me for those 2 weeks, it can happen again. Or it can be anything can happen, and it's like, what do I have to say for myself? What did I do? What am I here to do? What can we say? What can you say to say you really did the thing that you always wanted to do? What made you truly happy? What makes you a better person today? Because at the end, that's all that matters, is becoming a better person for people around you, and a better person for yourself. Like, if you really sit back and look at all this self-awareness, it all goes back to, if you become a better person, if you look at who you're intended to be, and you create all the right choices for yourself, then it's not being selfish. If anything, it's more selfless, because you're seeking these areas of your life, and it's not easy, but you having the opportunity to do it is better than, and you being able to do it and doing it is better than saying you didn't have a life to live for. So I would honestly say, yes, the uncertainty was not where I like to be, but I'm grateful that I had it. And now I'm grateful that I'm here, and I'm grateful that I get to share this with y'all and, prepare y'all, like, help y'all. I really want to help people understand that, it's yes, we're going to get to a place of uncertainty, and we don't have to have it figured out. Like detoxing from social media and all of that stuff, like the things that we're so consumed by. Like I said, even my relationship, I was so consumed by my relationship. Trust me, all of that, it can be taken away. But at the end of the day, all you got is yourself. What are you going to do for yourself? That is a real question. What are you going to do for yourself? What can you do moving forward that can only help you in the things that you desire? And doing good in this world. Being a better person for your parents, for your children, for yourself, for the people around you. Like, what can you do? Well, that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I am going to be going to this sisterhood thing that I get along with other women, and I get to share and get to honestly put myself out there. So let's get to that. Okay, let's hear. Okay, let's hear. Okay. Yes. Hi. Huh? Say hi. Bye.